Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to another video. This is T4C Culture TV. I'm Hotshot, and today we are going to be reviewing the Madrid derby, where Atletico Madrid traveled to the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano to take on their arch rivals in Real Madrid. This is T4C Culture TV, where we review matches, we do match previews as well, we do tactical analysis, player analysis, and all that good stuff. So if you're new here, please do consider subscribing and do like the video if you do enjoy this kind of content, and do comment down below as to where do you think Zinedine Zidane will finish this season. Alright, so let's get into the review. So this is the first Madrid derby of the 2020-21 season, and it has a lot of impact and it has a lot of significance. Real Madrid are going into this fixture after a grueling week after beating Sevilla 1-0 and securing their place in the Champions League round of 16 with a win over Borussia Mönchengladbach. Zinedine Zidane has been under a lot of pressure, and a win here against the crosstown rivals would relieve some of that pressure. Now, Atletico Madrid, they are currently sitting on top of the La Liga table. They are flying high. They are on a 26-match unbeaten run. The last time they lost was on February 1st to, you guessed it, Real Madrid. So it's the streak versus title aspirations. Brock versus The Undertaker. Can Atletico Madrid replicate their rivals in delivering where it matters the most? Real Madrid have been known when the pressure's on them, when they have to deliver a result, they have been known to get a result, and their players have been known to step up. So will that be a case for Atletico Madrid's side as well? Now let's get into the lineup, starting with the home team. Real Madrid fielded their classic 4-3-3 formation. Carvajal returning to the side is a massive boost for them, and he was the difference maker for the side. Mendy, Ramos and Varane constituted the entire defense, along with their regal midfield three of Toni Kroos, Casemiro and Luka Modric. Benzema was up top, flanked by either side by Vinicius Jr. and Lucas Vazquez. Now, Atletico Madrid fielded their classic 3-5-2 lineup. Stefan Savic, Felipe and Hermoso were the three centre-backs, with Kieran Trippier and Yannick Carrasco playing as the wing-backs. Llorente, Koke and Hector Herrera were the three centre-mids, and up top, Joao Felix, who's on a great run of form, is partnered by Luis Suarez. Now, right off the bat, Atletico Madrid, they lined up in their classic 3-5-2 without the ball. That shifted to a 5-3-2. They did not give Real Madrid any space down the middle. They defended very narrow and they defended very deep in a low block. They compressed the space between the lines, giving no space for Toni Kroos and Luka Modric to get into. So ideally, this shifted Real Madrid out wide, and they were happy to oblige, with Carvajal and Mendy overlapping the wingers in Lucas Vazquez and Vinicius Jr. And Benzema was drifting to either side of the half spaces, trying to create overloads, trying to stretch Atletico Madrid's defense, so that if either Vazquez and Benzema were causing overloads, Mendy would create the underlapping run and they would try to put balls into him. If Mendy and Benzema were trying to create the overloads, Lucas Vazquez would make the run into the box. That was mostly how they tried to attack. Now, Atletico with the ball was a sort of similar story. They almost attacked in a sort of 3-4-3 formation, with Llorente trying to expose the gap between Ferland Mendy and Sergio Ramos, and with Kieran Trippier pinging long balls, long over the top balls for either Llorente or Suarez to attack that side. Now, Joao Felix was dropping deep occasionally, because in the 3-4-3 they were outnumbered 3-2 in the midfield. So Joao Felix was dropping deep, was trying to create the ball, trying to turn and drive at the defense. But however, Casemiro was more than equipped to deal with that threat. Carrasco was trying to attack high, was trying to stay high and wide to put in crosses for Suarez, for Joao Felix to get on the end of, and also for the immediate switch of play to Llorente. Off the bat, Real Madrid were dominating, and it showed clearly in the 9th minute when they got their first big chance of the game. Lucas Vazquez, immediately after winning the ball, plays it through to Benzema to force Oblak into making a wonderful save. Oblak, for me, he is one of the best goalkeepers in the world currently. It really showed his class was too good. However, it wasn't his day, as we'll get to in a bit. Now, it took Real Madrid 14 minutes to score Atletico, and Toni Kroos, who took a brilliant corner, found Casemiro's head, and the Brazilian did nothing but just jump to head the ball home. Questions have to be asked by Atletico Madrid as to who was marking Casemiro. He was completely free and he shouldn't have had such a free header. And as a result of Real Madrid going 1-0 up, this is the first time that Atletico Madrid were trailing since June when they were trailing against Barcelona. Now Atletico Madrid, they were patiently trying to pass the ball around, trying to focus on their triangles, waiting for an opportunity for Luis Suarez or Joao Felix to make a run in and beyond the defense for their over-the-top through balls. But it really wasn't to be, as Atletico Madrid were completely overpowered by Real Madrid's defense. Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, combined with Casemiro's defensive grit and stability, they were overrun and they could not find that creative spark. Joao Felix kept on dropping deep into the midfield to try and create something, to try and drive at the opposition defense, but it was of no avail. Casemiro, Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane were too good in keeping the Portuguese talisman in their pocket, and Atletico Madrid did have a slight chance. Their plan almost worked as Luis Suarez found a tiny bit of space to run in beyond the defense. Courtois was more than capable of snuffing out the danger. Now going into halftime, Simeone needed to make changes, and changes he did make. Now after halftime, El Cholo made 3 changes. Felipe Carrasco and Hector Herrera came off for Renan Lodi, Angel Correa and Thomas Lemar. Now Simeone went to his trademark 4-4-2 formation with Angel Correa and Thomas Lemar becoming wingers and Renan Lodi occupying the left back spot. This is done mostly to get more superiority in the midfield. Real Madrid were completely finding spaces in between the lines and causing a lot of trouble for Atletico Madrid, and they were really struggling. So having a 4-man midfield was probably to provide numbers and to give more attacking potential, and it almost worked. In the 54th minute, Lemar had a brilliant chance, making a run to the far post and connecting towards a Marcus Llorente cross. However, he did scuff the shot wide, and this could have proved really costly for Atletico Madrid. And then Simeone made a very puzzling change when he took off Joao Felix for Saul Niguez. In my opinion, Saul should have started the match, and he proved to be a really key factor in Atletico Madrid trying to create the remaining chances that they had. But they took out their star striker, and he was clearly livid at the thought of being substituted. He was not happy, he was not pleased, and it was quite understandable because when Atletico were down, you needed that star man to turn things around, and he was not on the field. So questions will be asked by Cholo as to why he did sub off Joao Felix when Atletico Madrid were down. Now Real Madrid established their control of the game, trying to sit back and soak up the pressure created by Atletico Madrid and tried to hit them on the counter. And sadly, that's how the second goal came about. Real Madrid were lethal in winning the ball back and launching a brilliant counter that led to a corner kick, and the resulting corner kick led to the ball falling to Carvajal on the edge of the box, who controlled the ball really well and made a sweet strike that hit the post, then it hit Oblak, and then it went inside. Carvajal should have really deserved the goal. However, that was credited as an Oblak own goal, and what a brilliant strike that was. Carvajal returning to the side after injury, and he proved to be their star man. He proved to be the key man for Real Madrid. And from then on, Real Madrid were completely in control, and what a performance it was. Atletico Madrid did have some chances. Saul Niguez had a brilliant header saved. It was a brilliant, he could not do much about it. He did everything right, he did everything perfectly, but Courtois stepped up and made a big save. And then after that, Kondogbia came on for Luis Suarez to add more mobility into the pressing up top, and he partnered Saul Niguez up top. So all in all, it was a brilliant performance by Zinedine Zidane. More importantly, going forward, it was that defensive solidity that needed praising. They were really good off the ball. They really soaked up Atletico Madrid's pressure, and they were very well defensively organized. What a difference Sergio Ramos makes into the side. He makes, without him, Varane is, I wouldn't say clueless, but he makes Varane so much better, and it shows that even at his almost twilight years, Sergio Ramos is the man for a big occasion. The stats also show that Real Madrid were the deserved victors, with Real Madrid dominating possession with 57% compared to Atletico Madrid's 43%, and they also had 11 shots compared to Atletico Madrid's 5, with 3 on target compared to their 1. They also won 52% duels compared to Atletico Madrid's 49%. But the XG, however, shows that Atletico Madrid had more quality chances with 0.91 compared to Real Madrid's 0.76. And what a week for Real Madrid. They won against Borussia Mönchengladbach. They are into the Champions League round of 16. They won against Sevilla, a tough fixture for them, and they beat their derby rivals. Now they are currently 3 points behind Atletico Madrid. Although Atletico Madrid have a game in hand, it should be said, but this shows that you cannot count Real Madrid out of a title race. We learned that last season, and now we are learning it again this season. And credit really has to go to Zinedine Zidane. The man was under pressure. He was calm. He was composed throughout the whole rough patch that Real Madrid were going through, and he delivered when it mattered most. And this shows why Real Madrid are champions. When the chips are down, when performances are not going away, their players step up, their manager steps up, and they deliver performances. For Atletico Madrid, it's the story of their season. They were really good against the lesser teams, but when they face the bigger teams in Europe, like your Bayern Munich or your Real Madrid, that's where they start to crumble. That's where you can tell that they are not quite there yet. And another question I have for you guys is, where do you think Atletico Madrid will finish? Do you think that they will win the league title this season? This season is not yet over. Atletico Madrid still have a great chance to win the league. Real Madrid also have a great chance to win the La Liga. It's going to be a really great season for La Liga and for Spanish football fans. And my man of the match for this game, you guessed it, it's gotta be Toni Kroos. He was imperious against Atletico Madrid. He completely stole the show. He dominated their midfield. If you look at his game by numbers, you will see that he had 109 touches, which was the most out of anybody in the field. He had 100% aerials won, 100% take-ons completed, 87 passes completed, which was the most, 3 fouls won, 2 chances created, 2 tackles won, 1 interception and 1 shot. This guy, along with Modric, are Real Madrid's beating heart. They are the creative hub. They are the engine of that Madrid midfield, and without them, Real Madrid need them if they want to go forward and win. Thank you so much guys for listening to this video. If you liked it, please make sure to drop a like, do subscribe if you're new to the channel, and do comment below where do you think Atletico Madrid will finish and where do you think Real Madrid will finish. So for now guys, this is me, Hotshot, signing off, and for now, see you guys later until the next video. Peace.